Hello everyone, welcome back again to Spiritual Growth Tarot. I'm Denise, and this reading will be to address all the viewer questions that I have that have come in by email or left over from live streams. So first of all, I want to thank you so much for the questions. I always appreciate them. And with that, let me drop the camera down and we'll get this going. Okay, hold on one moment. Okay, so our first question comes from my friend Heidi. She's wondering if others are asking why two Dems in the House voted against sweeping gun reform. My suspicion always goes towards NRA lobbyists and coin and pocket-itis. Yeah. So anyway, she's wondering about these two Democrats. So Jared Golden from Maine and Alyssa Slotkin from Michigan. Like, why did they vote against gun reform? So I think what I'll do, and then we have a second question here, but I think what I'll do is I think I'll use a kipper. So let me set this aside here, and let's use the kipper, and I'll start with, the first one. Oh, sorry, Findicil kipper, Findicil kipper from Gerald Margetti. That's the deck. Okay, so the first one we have is the man. So Jared Golden. Jared Golden from Maine. Why did he vote against the sweeping gun reform? Why has he voted against the gun reform? Okay. Let's see. Let's just try. Let me try 5 cards and see what I can get with that. Yeah. Okay. This calls for 10. So this dude, Jared Golden. Yep, these aren't the coins that you work for money, you know. This isn't earned money, this is given. Okay, so he didn't come through himself, but I've got a little story going on here. So he was obviously, well, with the official person showing up in the middle, of course it's rules and regulations, right? It's responsibility, but it's also on a person, like just a personal level. This is one of those cards that can come through when a person is like needing security. You know, like sometimes they'll join the military because they need that type of security, or they, you know, there's a personal reason underneath the, a darker personal reason under, or maybe an unconscious personal reason under the, under the bigger good reason. But in this case, there was no good reason. This is just, so I'm feeling like he had some need for security. And he's going through this major dark night of the soul. He was worried about losing money. So you're absolutely right, Heidi. It is a simple case of the coin and pocket-itis. Now, the expectation card is usually my card for showing something that takes a few months. But in this case, you know, he was worried about losing the security of some supportive man, but this doesn't have to be a man. This could be just a group of supportive, like older men, who he thinks is somebody, stronger than him. Like this could be a person's boss or father figure or father themselves. It could be his father. But he was worried about losing money. And we've got the wealthy, privileged lady here is like the wealthy woman. And the same thing I mean, this could literally be, I know nothing about the guy's personal life, but this could literally be both his parents and a sister, if they're people. If they're not people, we're in that realm of supportive and, what wisdom and support with both. And then, I mean, who knows? This could even be like Lauren Boebert or a girlfriend or something. I don't know anything about the guy, and I didn't look up. I mean, this is a really cold reading. I didn't look anything up. But back to the expectation here. It feels like he just doesn't know. He doesn't really know what he wants. And then on another level, this is a card that comes through when somebody's being watched. So, who are all these other people? I mean, Wayne LaPierre with the NRA, he's pretty messed up himself, because the NRA it's been designated by that bipartisan Senate committee back in, September 27th, 2019, if I remember correctly. It was labeled or branded, I think branded was the word I remember writing down, that it was branded a foreign asset. So the NRA is no longer a clean organization. But the reason he did what he did was for money problems or money issues. And I think he was afraid he was going to lose it and have to go back to some type of work or maybe he didn't feel like he was making enough work just being, or making enough money in his work just being a, representative in Maine. Now, this would be the people of Maine, and I think they would know that the gifts have been given, and these could be, it's very possible that these cards are representing the people who actually gave the money, but I don't know who they are. I can only guess, I mean, taking a stab in the dark, like maybe the Mercers or the Publix heiress. Like this could be Robert Mercer, and this could be Rebecca Mercer, and this could be the Publix heiress. But they could be anybody that we don't even know their names of, because these people are hidden in the shadows. And when it comes to the sex trafficking, money laundering, human trafficking, which I get with this card sometimes, it's a case of hidden identities. Okay, so that's him. So let me reshuffle and feel into Alyssa Slotkin from Michigan. So what's up with her? Why did she vote the way she voted? Why did she vote against the gun reform in Michigan? Alyssa Slotkin. Okay. That's interesting there. Okay. She showed up right there. Okay. She's covering her own ass, looking out for her own assets. It was her strategery, like Lori. I just love Lori over at The Way of Positive Change. She cracks me up with her words. Strategery. Like, remember George W. A strategery. Only I don't think he was saying it to be funny. He just used to. Oh God, he had his own language. It was the best I can say about him. Okay, his own language and no backbone spine against Dick Cheney. But anyway, back to Alyssa. So she's got money problems hanging over her head. And so I honestly don't know if like maybe she has tax problems that's a, an issue with, but there are communications I think that can nail her. And this is my foreign asset card, foreign communications, foreign money. I mean, the cards are literally touching each other. And, and this is her reputation, and she's having to strategize a new way forward. This is her assets. Yeah, so I would say, yeah, she's definitely, she's bought and paid for. It was money. So there's that one. Okay. All right. Okay, so the next one, will the lobbying and super PAC laws ever be revoked? Okay, let me switch decks here. Let's use this one. Okay. Will the lobbying and super PAC laws ever be revoked? I think that would be under the work of all the painstaking work that Sheldon Whitehouse is doing. I did do a read about almost a year ago on Citizens United. So that's in there if you want to just search in my library, just type in Citizens United, if it would be revoked. I think at the end it came through that definitely, because I think I had the scythe in there, if I can remember, because I looked at it a little bit earlier, and I sent that to you, Heidi, if you haven't gotten it yet in your email. So anyway, super PAC laws, because this is a little different. Will the super PAC laws ever be revoked? The lobbyists sent to earn a real living instead of my goodness, these like vampires. Okay. Will the super PAC laws, will the lobbyists and the super PAC laws ever be revoked? Well, they're at that threshold now. That's something big and strong that needs, let's see, law, yeah. This is clearing out, this is cutting. Okay, let's go ahead and do 5 more. Okay. So with the archway up there opening up the reading, they're not there yet, but they're on a threshold. I mean, both of these two cards here are pretty much, a bit of a threshold experience. But this archway is change, a beginning, where people need to let go of all their attachments that that can't go with them into that new realm, right? You have to leave what's behind. Like, imagine standing there. You have to leave what's behind to move through that. And I feel like this is the people that are the boss. And we're the public, the moon. I've got the moon in the garden here, and these are both my public cards. Public interactions, especially interactions with the garden. Yeah. Creating the way. Like, we have to be, the public has to be the one that creates the way and vote to get these guys out and fight. We need to fight. But the scythe is about clearing. It definitely clears something out. It's not the easiest thing, but it is a card of danger as well. It's a card of danger. And so the stars is about intention. It's about navigation. it has everything to do with making connections and like creating something new. You know, it's an Aquarius card. And we do have Saturn in Aquarius right now. And we do have Uranus, which rules Aquarius, in Taurus, which is all about safety. So there's new laws of safety. And that's the choice. Like, we're at this crossroads where we need to make this choice. I feel like the book card has to do with getting new laws on the books, you know, like clearing out. This definitely is a card of revoke, you know, something being revoked. But time's wasting. Time's definitely wasting, and we have to take advantage of, you know, the midterms coming up. We have to take advantage of the change that has happened, because now this could be like all the mama bears out there who want to be much, much more protective over their children than ever before. And this could be the teachers who are the boss of the, you know, kind of like, not really, but, you know, the mama bears of the kids when they're at school. With the teachers, they need to protect themselves too. So we're at a threshold. I feel like this is humanity at a threshold where we need to create these new laws. It's time's a wasting, but we need to commit to it. So, but as far as being, you know, because if I look at just lobbying and super PACs in general, it could be a different story, but we're focusing in here on like the NRA and or you know, gun laws basically. So yeah, because this is a card of danger. Let's see what was on the bottom here. Yeah, it's too stressful. We need more wisdom. And then here we have the government, the tower stepping in, because of course we care and there's more wisdom, right? And we've had it. We've literally had it with this, you know, the betrayal just for the money. Yeah. Yeah, so I think it's a big fat yes, but I think it's going to take some time. But I think we have momentum right now that needs to be, you know, acted upon, or, you know, pushed into. Like, just keep going with it, because we've had it. So okay, so Hilda's is next. So hers says. She wants to know about the California 5 automakers, Honda, Volvo, BMW, Ford, and VW, Volkswagen, who are backing California Authority to set stricter vehicle emission standards. So she wants to know, will other automakers in other states follow in this very needed standard for climate warming emissions? Yeah, for CO2. Okay, so we already know many of the red states may not because of the repubs, but what about the other blue states or countries? Oh, blue states or other countries? Yeah. She's saying we know Houston and Dallas are the worst here in Texas, but we know evil Hot Wheels won't even hear of it, especially if orangutan has anything to say about it. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out which deck. Maybe the Kipper. I'm thinking the Kipper probably. So we're looking at, so California's headed in the right direction, of course. So, but we're looking at other automakers in other states. Will they follow in this very needed standard for climate warming emissions? Okay. So will other states be following the lead of California for vehicle emission standards, CO2 emissions, things like that? Okay. Will other states be following? Other states. Well, okay. So there's ambition here with this guy, but there's some kind of painful loss. Right in between, you know, the wealth and the ambition. I mean, the ambition for wealth. On another weird level, you know, whenever I see the coffin, I think of boxes, and this could have to do with batteries, battery storage, things like that needs to happen for cars. You know, carrying around the heavy batteries that, you know, and then the charging stations, all of that. It's not so much just building the cars, which it really is, but they also need, you know, you need the charging stations. But they can make them. I mean, I know here in Oregon, there's like in Eugene, in downtown Eugene, there's like, you know, like a fast food place. They're not really fast food, it's outside of any restaurant actually. They have charging stations, so you can charge your cars while you're eating. So we have work here. I feel like this is battery storage. I feel like there's money that needs to come together. The ambition and the money and the, you know, wisdom over here all needs to come together to move money towards battery storage, because everything else is there. And then or making the batteries lighter in the cars so they use even less. But anyway, back to the question. Other states, as far as other states, other states outside of California, it does look pretty good, because, you know, when it comes to other states, this would be like right into their, you know, intimate space. But this, you know, there is nothing, boy, I learned that years and years ago, there is nothing stronger than a public-driven market. Back in the day when I used to teach aerobics, you know, it's pretty much just high impact and low impact, and then the step, kind of like the step revolution from Reebok came in, and we were like, you know, the first, actually, yeah, I'm like pretty much the first, you know, instructors to like try and get it going. And we watched the clubs go out of business who refused to spend the money on steps, because everybody wanted the steps, and they would just go to the clubs that had the step classes, you know. So I'll never forget that. But anyway, so bringing it into each state's intimate space, this has to do with security, you know, because just think of like how safe you are in your own space. But this, I think, has to do with the charging stations. I'm like picking up on the light coming in here, and this is the battery, and like the car that's got to be charged in your home space. Like that's part of the problem, right? And we have every single supportive, you know, money card here, except for the older man. But you know, we've got it all here. We've got the wisdom up here. She's supportive wisdom. We've got the younger generation that definitely wants it, and we need it to be affordable. Now, this is coming together. The courtship card is like the way people move through life, you know, socially. It's like our social, you know, meetings, moving around, things like that. It's also a card of teamwork, because people are getting together and talking about things. And then with the expectation card, like I said before, this is my cart. When it comes to timing, it's like 3 months. But it could be that something's delayed and they're waiting. And I do feel it has to do with battery storage and charging stations. But they're working on it. The push, so the journey card is like, we're going in this direction, whether they're going, we're all going in this direction, whether we like it or not, whether the oil companies like it or not. It should have been done a long time ago. I mean, God, remember back in the 80s when they killed the electric car? Just look that up. Like, Google that someday. Who killed the electric car? It's like, my whole life, right? Like, my goodness. So we've been waiting, but it does look good because it looks like they're working on it, and we're going to have to be the ones just to keep voting and bring it in, is what I'm seeing here. But yeah, all of the, as far as orangutan goes and Hot Wheels and all of that, yeah, they're all in bed with the oil companies, and that's the reason things get slowed down. But I don't see, I mean, if this could be that there's ambition that ended things in other states, like if these were our elected officials that have ended things in the past, it's not going to work for too long, because we're headed in this direction where everybody has their own ability to charge their, your vehicle in your own garage, right? And in the states that can, that don't get tons and tons and tons of snow. But even if you do, you can have ground mount systems. We could all have solar panels on our roofs and ground mount systems if you can't have it on your roof for some reason or another. Older homes, maybe couldn't afford or couldn't hold the weight. But yeah, I mean, my son years ago, when I worked for a solar contractor, and his bills were $800 a month, I said, dude, call Solar City. This was before Elon Musk bought it. And he did it, and they put him in for free, because they get they get the, I forget what it's called, but they get all the flow of electricity into their system. And there was like a thing with the Southern California Edison Company. Anyway, long story short, his bill went down to $200 a month for, a really big house. And he's still happy with those solar panels up there. So anyway, okay, next, Unique wants to know, does John Bolton have any information on January 6th? Okay, so let's look, let's just use a yes or no deck and see if he does, and if it's a yes, then I'll look and see what does he have. But let's see first. Unique wants to know, is it Unique or Unique? Unique One. Her name's Unique One. Yeah, actually, this is pretty clever. Look at her name. Unique One. I love that. Okay. John Bolton, Mr. Stash. Mr. Big Stash. Okay, does he have any information on January 6th? You would think he would. I mean, but I have to let go of my thinking. Go brainless here and just draw the dang cards. Oh, that's a no. Hold on. And that's a yes. So he does have some, but not all. Just a little bit. Okay, so let's see what he has. What does he have? Because he went away, remember? He resigned. Did he resign, or did Trump fire him? I can't remember. So as far as information on January 6th, I think I'm going to stick with the Kipper here, actually. John Bolton, what information do you have about January 6th? Okay. Supportive. Public heiress, probably. Somebody, or Jenny Thomas. Some supportive woman that he worked with. maybe? Let's see. Let's keep going. And then a younger supportive woman and an older supportive man. And this wouldn't be him because it'd be the main man that he... Oh, main female. That's weird. Oh, that would be his wife. What does she have to do with anything? Foreign money. Foreign communications. He knows about foreign communications. He knows about some of the questions that the J6 is asking about. Okay. So again, back to this, I don't see, we don't have the travel card in here. What I'm getting, this feels like John Eastman to me, as, on a person level. I think this is John Eastman. The main female, well, when you get the main man or main female and you're asking about a person, then this would be his wife, but maybe this is another main female that helped, like what's her name? Oh goodness. Well, because this could be her too. Sidney Powell. Yeah. Sidney Powell. But he might know about Jenny Thomas. Whatever he knows, it has to do with women that helped work to bring it together. Now, because the adjudication card is here, this could be my SCOTUS. This would be somebody on the bench. And so maybe he knows about Jenny Thomas, because this would be Clarence Thomas's reputation that she has totally destroyed. Well, it was pretty bad before then, but it's just trash now. But anyway, this right here is really interesting, because when it comes to John Bolton, I don't know actually, because of the cards that are around it, I feel like this is Jenny Thomas not liking a subpoena that's going to be coming in for her to go before the committee, right? But then there's also information, all forms of information, communications, all forms of communications, foreign and, domestic. Wow. Well, I hope they bring him in and he doesn't perjure himself. Then again, maybe Jenny will just do it on her own. So yeah, so he's got some goods. I don't see that he knows a whole lot about travel, and we don't have the money cards here. So we're in a finite. It's kind of like ratcheted down into information, communications, and Jenny Thomas is all over this spread. That's the way I'm seeing it. And it could be other women too. So he does know something. Okay. That's interesting. All right, next question. Diva 369. The Supreme Court is turning more fascist with every ruling. They have unlimited power at their fingertips since they answer to no one. Yeah, that's kind of true, isn't it? Will the damage be reversed? Okay. All right. So again, I'm gonna stick with Kipper because it's great for legal questions, isn't it? Okay. Supreme Court. The future of the Supreme Court. There are ways it could be dealt with it. A couple could leave. Problem is they're kind of on an honor system. But what's his name? Kavanaugh could go, and Clarence Thomas could go. The only, well, the only good man, I think, is Robert. Is it Roberts? No, it's not Roberts. Who's the guy that's leaving? Oh, I can't remember. I forget his name. And then, of course, Elena Kagan and Sonia Sotomayor are there. They're fantastic. There's 3 good ones out of the 6 that are damaging. Okay, so let's look at the future. But, you know, they could be, Biden could get on the stick to add more justices on so that, you know, we have more than 9 to try and outweigh. And then a couple bad ones could go and good. Well, of course, we have to remember Ketanji Brown Jackson. She'll be on pretty soon. She'll be in there. Right? She's going to take, I think it's Roberts. Or, oh, I can't remember. God, dang it. I saw him on Stephen Colbert. He's a sweetheart, older guy. Anyway, the one that's retiring. So she's taking his place. So that will bring it into, will still be 3, but 3 women. Okay, so let's look at the future of SCOTUS. And I know I've read on this several times before, so, but I don't know if I used Kipper. But there are tons of readings in there on Clarence Thomas. His future is awful. His health is awful. Well, let's look at the future of the Supreme Court. Must be thoroughly shuffled by then. By now. Okay. Future of the Supreme Court. Okay, they're working. Working on new rules and regulations. I don't know which one that is. One of them's going to jail. Gee, who could that be? For receiving gifts. Oh, is it the gift of his corrupt wife? Oh, God. You saw me say it right when I pulled the card out. You can't make this crap up, man. Okay. This is we got Clarence and Jenny all over this one. So for now, for sure, what I can say about the future of the Supreme Court is somebody's, if not locked up, now this does not have to be locked up in any type of club fed or house arrest or anything. It can be just simply restricted. And I'm thinking that this, well, I mean, I would think that it's Clarence Thomas, based on these cards here. He's definitely in poverty consciousness, definitely has problems with his family now because of what Jenny has done. Yeah, because I wasn't asking about any specific one of them, but this has to be, because who else in the Supreme Court could be in this much despair? I mean, this is the Nine of Swords and the Tarot, but way worse. It's my I named it my Tortured with Worry and Stress. When I was first studying the Kipper, I picked that up somewhere. But anyway, this is a card of just major problems. So the future of the Supreme Court itself is having major problems. This could be the stand-in for the feminine and the ape shit, places we're going to go when Roe v. Wade is overturned, which it's looking like it will be, right? But as far as will the damage be reversed? Will the damage be reversed? It would be American families. It would be the husbands and wives who want to have control over their own reproductive rights. and this restriction on the laws. Darn it. So okay, so back to the question. Will the damage be reversed? And as far as the future of the Supreme Court, because that was my major question, the future of the Supreme Court, there's restriction, and maybe restriction as to money that can flow to them somehow, and because they're not supposed to be getting gifts of any kind. If this card isn't gifts, it could just be there's like the recognition that they get. They're not going to like it. Sometimes this card comes through when like somebody's offering a gift and they're wanting, forgiveness. Well, we're not going to be forgiving them. They need to go. They need to be restricted. And on another level, and especially with the family room here, sometimes the gift that comes to the family is the baby. This can be a card because we don't have the child card here, but it can be the gift of a pregnancy. So this has Roe v. Wade all over here, and nobody wants to be forced to have extra children because they cost a fortune to raise, and if you can't afford to feed the ones you have and you get pregnant, you're not going to be able to. You're not going to want to quit your job to have the baby. That you can't afford even with the job. And how do you have a baby and have a job at the same time? I've never understood how anybody does that. People do it though. They just go right back to work, and it's just I think it's probably the most painful thing in the world. But people won't like that. People won't like being forced to that level of restriction. So the future of the Supreme Court is that they are in great despair, and I'm going to chalk this card up to being the feminine. And pregnancy rights, Roe v. Wade is all here. So the future of the SCOTUS is awful. It's not good. It does not bode. None of these cards bode well for success when it comes to SCOTUS. So let me draw another layer on top. I mean, if we even just go with these cards knighting here, this could be a woman expecting, in that despair around, oh crap, I could get pregnant and not be able to have an abortion. Because there's the abortion pill, there's the morning after pill. Those things have been used when birth control failed, because birth control doesn't always work. All hail to the men who went and got vasectomies to protect their wives, right? Hats off, man. Yeah, okay. Right. Okay. Yeah, the restriction on the pregnancy rights, the expectation. And then again, this could be in 3 months' time. So what else? Let's get just a little bit more. Change. Change is coming for SCOTUS. Strategery, change and some strategy to what? Are we going to add more on the bench? This is a card of success, but earned success. Okay. Major concern. So I feel like Clarence Thomas is in here, and Roe v. Wade is in here. Yeah, okay, so this is my card for could take up to 2 years. But once Roe v. Wade goes down, and we're looking at the midterms and we're looking at the 2024 vote, change is coming. Change is coming by 2024. And this could be Biden being very, very worried and concerned about it. And we need to pressure him that way too. Which he's definitely for, upholding Roe v. Wade. It needs to be codified. Okay. All right, so that batch is done. Let me put this over here. Now we have, okay, Claudia has 2 questions. Where is Alexei Navalny? Okay. Alexei Navalny, that's right. Alexei Navalny. Okay, where is he? Where is he? Let's look at where is he and how is he? Where is he and how is he doing? Okay. Alexei. Okay, that's him right there. He's shown up right at the get-go. He's still meeting with people. Somebody's deceived him. It's a painful loss, but it could be just that he's held. Let's see. Where is he and what happened? Like, how did he get there? This could be his wife. That's his reputation. Distraction, thief, journey. Okay. Let's see what was on the bottom of the deck. Yeah, okay. All right. So, of course, we know that he's still locked up. He's still locked up, and how he's doing is he's really, really concerned. I feel like with these other cards that he was moved to some place that was more locked down. Yeah, okay, so this is him. This is everything that happened behind his back, okay? So he was working as a prisoner, and somebody sold out. Somebody got some money. Somebody got some money for getting him locked up or moved to some other place, because here's the movement. Here's the movement, and then here's the person. When it's a distraction, the movement is a distraction. Okay, so of course this has to be Putin. This has to be Putin, and Putin's not healthy. Putin's dying, and he's just going to be a bitch, before he goes out, because he's a little bitch. His reputation is gone, done, dead, painful loss to his reputation. Navalny's up here at the top. Putin snuck up behind him, deceived, paid somebody off to deceive and get to meet up to Alexei. And they moved him. What I feel like here is that they moved him to a place where he's like bonded in a deeper level of work. It could be like some kind of maximum security type of thing. Like, well, maybe, you know what though? Maybe, hold on, is he? Because if he's in maximum security and locked up, how is he working? How is he in the, like, what's going on there? Because I asked, what is he doing too? Like, what is he doing? And this could be his wife trying to help, doing everything she can. Oh my goodness, can you imagine? But he's definitely, he's definitely still in prison here, right? Let me just draw a few more cards. Let's see how he's doing. How is he doing? This could be him with his bad health as well, but his honor is. No, this is all about how he got into some maximum security situation. This is what's his name? This is Putin, and that's the Poodster, as Lori calls him. But how's Navalny doing? Okay, people love him. People are bonded to him. Yeah, he's in sadness. He's waiting. He's got a court case he can work with. He has communications. There are people communicating, trying to get him out. There's going to be some new court case on him in the future to try and help get him out. His health is awful, though. He's not doing well. That might be what gets him out. Oh, goodness. I hope this isn't his future here. I mean, let's just send him lots of prayers and love and support. However we can. I mean, what can we do? Are there funds that we can we donate? Like, there's got to be something. There's got to be somebody who's working for him on his behalf, maybe in Ukraine. Okay, so Claudia's second question is, will Ukraine be part of the EU sooner than expected? Sooner will be part of the European Union sooner than expected. So this will just be a simple yes or no. Will it be a part of the EU sooner than expected? I've got a no there and a yes here. So that tells me right on schedule as expected when you've got a mixed, Okay. So Gretchen is, no, I'm sorry. Oh, I had this one in there twice. Gretchen is next. Can you read on what will happen to energy companies due to the record profits they are making? Okay, good question there. All right, what's going to happen to energy companies? Let's go with the Kipper again. Energy companies. Due to the record profits that they're making, what will happen to energy companies? So I imagine we're including all. You know what? Let's break it down to oil first. Let's break it down to oil and gas. What's going to happen to the oil and gas? So we're talking liquid, petroleum, natural liquid, whatever, liquid gas. We're talking the fracking. And we're also talking oil, crude oil. Let's read on those. What's going to happen to them in the future? How are those companies going to go in the future? And then next I'll look at renewables. You can't glom those two together. Okay. Oil and gas. How's oil and gas going to do in the future? And maybe we'll get some timing cards. Okay, so there's the movement of the crude oil, I suppose. Yeah, it's not going good for them. That's a card of a down patch. That's a painful loss because of something new. Well, that's interesting. Something new. Oh, new restrictions, because of new restrictions. Okay. Because people are going to bond and join together. Wow. Wow. Oh, this is excellent. Yeah. they're not going to be happy ending the record profits. The despair card takes away any, major, well, and this would be speculation as well. Their good fortune is going bye-bye. Goodbye. There are so many layers here. I mean, as well as down patch for them financially. They're on this journey. All this is coming up behind them, where there's going to have those new restrictions, and it's going to be a painful loss for them. But this is also, health concerns for people. It's like, coal and crude oil and burning gas and, all that. It's not, I mean, of course, all over the world, the raises, CO2 emissions, all of that is part of it. And they're going to see it as long-term in the future, that those regulations need to be put in place. This is like the delivery of regulations put in place. Okay, so let's look at renewables. Let's look at the future of renewables. Financial future of renewables. Yeah, maybe these energy, the oil and gas, all of, natural gas, all of that, fracking, maybe they're just taking as much money as they can now because they know that in the, long-term future they're dead. So, okay, let me get my head into renewables. So think of solar panels, charging stations, some type of free energy in the future. I mean, I'm sure it's out there. I'm sure things are already invented. It's just getting things to the people. And getting rid of the regulations from the oil, getting the oil companies out of the picture. Because they're the ones that, just shove everything down. Okay, so let me move this back over here so I've got more room. Okay, the future of renewables. Okay. That's a lot of people. That's the ambition. Now, this could be even other countries with the same ambition, but also the Distant Horizons card is about longing and hope, and it has everything to do with globalization. It has everything to do with, like a long-term vision in the future, like your dreams. And now it could also have to do with like ocean liners, like moving things across the water. Yeah, I've always thought like, if we're smart, we would save the oil for the things that really, are the hardest to change. But then again, if you can put solar panels, I've seen solar panels on the top of a plane and all across the wings. Like, if we can do that, could be on a plane. I mean, on a ship instead of coal. Okay, but this is the community. This is all of us and our ambitions and our hopes and dreams and visions of a clean future. And then new rules and regulations that will become an asset and bring in success. But this is like people working for it, people fighting for it, people, because we've earned it. And then we have support. We have wisdom and support. We have the work towards it. We got to do the work, right? We got to get those details and like sow that new loom of interest. Now, this would be regulations against people that abuse, I would think, abuse the system. But then here we have the marriage. So this is the bond of coming together. So it has to be like-minded people and the ambition of wealthy people and supportive young and old people wanting to have a different vision for the future with regulations that protect our assets, which is our homeland. But it could be, the homeland of all companies, or all countries, I'm sorry, if they're smart. Yeah. I just heard power grids. Oh, that's probably because I was looking at this card. Power grids. Oh, yeah, look at the lights up here. And if you think of the loom as like, working to create that power grid. Wow. Okay. So this is the future of renewables. It has a long-term vision. It has wealth. Renewables have success coming in, and the healthy bonds of success. And but this one's a little tricky. So sad news, message of concern. Well, because the rules and regulations are on top of it, and this is like its official card, that maybe it'll be sad news for anything that's out of that big vision. Maybe it's sad news for people who are in bed with foreign cultures who just want to sell us their oil. Yeah. Which I guess Biden's going to go to Saudi Arabia, but he says he is not meeting with MBS. He's there to meet with people with regulations. That's why, or to get some new regulations started. Okay, that was a good question. So the next one is Jewel. Jewel wants to know. She wants like it looks like a character reference on Jerome Powell. Okay, so the chair of the Fed, so Jerome Powell. She would like to know if he's fake, if he's a facade or a facade and truthful idiot that everyone is proclaiming him to be. Okay, so character reference on Jerome Powell. Okay. Character reference on Jerome Powell. Well, there is some deception there. Jerome Powell, and then this one right here. Okay. It's not as bad as we might think, except for we do have... This card is about deception, the false person. It's definitely about... so there's something... You know what this could be, though, too, is just someone evading the matter, like avoiding the real problem. This is a card for, so this would be somebody, adjudication is a card about someone who's examining something, who's poring over all the paperwork, who's, it's like an advisory position, someone who either investigates, or this could be like a tax person. I mean, there's a lot of meanings to this card. Let me just stick in with because I'm at well over an hour here. I feel like in the context of just a character reference, he's somebody who examines the facts and the details, and he's an advisor. And he's wondering about... or he's advising about, when it comes to a character reference, he's advising about what is valuable, and and how to reconcile. I just heard the word reconcile over a long period of time, like managing expectations of the people. But he's with these bookends, these two cards bookending each other here. This is about, he's doing it with teamwork. He's doing it, he's not operating on his own. He's not operating on his own. He's negotiating. He's having lots of meetings here. And that's further reiterated with the message card being down here at the bottom, at the base. We've got, all forms of communications. So he's not only going over documents, but also, he's talking to lots of people, communicating with lots of people. And it looks to me like he's in teamwork to manage, poverty. He's worried about a recession. He's worried about a recession, and then, but there's something tricky here with this card, There could be some dishonesty in him, or with the people he's getting information from. But it's not as bad as you know what I mean? It's not like money, well, unless money's going to him. The main man didn't come through, but I think this is him. But this would be him examining the situation. Let me see what's at the bottom. That she doesn't make any sense. Great fortune and community. Yeah, it's like, that looks like he's looking out for the people. The privileged lady in here, again, she doesn't have to be a person. She's all about creating things, creating new things. And he's worried about poverty. And he's trying to create change. It looks to me like he's trying to create change. This could be creating new jobs as well. Because this card can be job change, it can be moving in and out of new homes. So I think he's thinking about car loans and home loans, and the rate, right? Because he's all about he's the guy that could raise the rate, and I think they already did it. But I don't see him as being that bad, Jewel, honestly. This is the only one here and sometimes this card is just, it doesn't, if it's not a person being dishonest, it's like the fox in the Lenormand, where it can just be that there's something wrong. We don't have, this isn't the theft card, right? It's totally different. This is just like there's something wrong. So again, it's not as bad as it looks to me. Like he's looking out for the long term and worried about change, but worried about home and car loans. And he's been examining the situation, but not alone. He's been working, with teams. He's been getting advice from other people. And I think he's just basically trying to control a recession. Okay, so the last question is from Rena. So Rena wants to know, will Betsy DeVos be brought up on trial now that the January 6 hearings are going on? Will Betsy DeVos be brought up on charges of selling the children that came across the Mexican border? Okay, let's see about that. Okay, so Betsy DeVos. Let's look at Betsy DeVos's past and future. And I think I can actually, I'm going to do 7. I'm going to do 2 rows of 7 here. Get a little bit more. Betsy DeVos. See if what did she really do in the past? And what is her future? Okay. So let me just go ahead and draw the cards. So 2, 3. Yeah, actually 13, 14, and I'm going to take the 2 off the bottom as well. Okay. All right. Well, okay, I need to make as much room as possible here. Wait, is that 7? Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, actually, I had plenty of room. Okay. Let me move them in this way. Sometimes it cuts off over on this side for some weird reason. Go back and look in the video, and it's like, what? Okay. There's our child. There's the children. There's the foreign lands. But it could be, yeah, Mexican children, yeah. Okay. Oh my goodness. Is she married? Because this should be her husband. But it could be Trump. Okay, so we've got money coming in here. After taking advantage of the rules that were put in place, and this would have to do with COVID as well. Wow. So this, so past and then into the future. But then again, if I read the bookends, it could be, because this could be Trump with the rules that he had put into place with his zero tolerance policy, with his little Keebler elf dude. What was that guy's name? Jeffrey Beauregard Sessions. That was his name. Little prick. Ugh. Along with our most disgusting person in the world. Well, or right up there with Steve Bannon, but Stephen Miller. I don't like these cards here when it comes to trafficking. This is a strategy to make money off of the, yeah, this is dark. A strategy to make money off of the rules that were put into place. And COVID didn't help. But this was way before COVID even. Sick rules that were put in place. And then all of these people coming in that could have been, you know, helped to find work. But instead, but then this is her future as well. Now, this is layered. This is layered. Her future is at least poverty of the soul. And if this is her husband, if this is the stand-in for her husband as well, I would think he's got something on the side. And she's in it. She stays in it just for the money. Okay, but in the past, yeah, they made money off of children. She did. She sold, Wow, she sold children. And I don't know who this guy is that had the ambition with her, but she was like bonded in a successful venture. This is so awful. And at the bottom of the deck, I don't know if this is her successful reputation in the future. Like she doesn't get, I don't see her getting busted for it. Let me try. Let me see if anything comes up. Maybe that's just all the past and I needed to see all of that. That was awful. That was really awful. Okay, let me look at her future. Will she ever be brought up on charges? Or is she going to get away with this? It might be so hidden. It looked like she could have had lots of other people helping her. Will she be brought up on charges? What is her legal future? Some supportive woman is working for her. That could be a subpoena, or it could be a supportive woman working on could be a wise woman working on a subpoena because they've got travel, maybe travel documents. Now, oh God, that's not good for her future, is it? Travel again. We've got the 2 travel cards. This could be air travel and local travel. Her future. Yeah, it's not good for her. Okay. Might do a few more cards. But anyway, I think the short story here is at some point she'll be caught for receiving money. And it could be her and another woman that worked with her. And there's documentation about the changes, about the way the money moved. And she's not gonna, the way the money and the kids moved, and she's not gonna like what's coming towards her. Her assets. Assets, her home life. It's not good. Something's wrong in her home life there. Maybe Sheldon Whitehouse gets her. Whatever it is, it's going to take some time. And it's going to be a very painful loss for her. She will be examined. There will be an examination before the court, and then she's going to be just not thinking about anything else about that. So theft, yeah, she is a thief. She did it. She did it, and maybe her brother helped her out some way. Maybe. Ugh. Okay, I'm thoroughly disgusted. Take a deep breath and let that go. Man. I have to take another shower. Anyway, no, I'm just going to take a deep breath, get this uploaded for you guys, and take some deep breaths, lots of deep breathing. Send you big, big hugs, lots of love. Okay, take care. Bye.